out here in Sacramento, our stomping grounds, our hometown. We have been going far and wide for weeks and months and all the way until next year to help so many wonderful, beautiful, and deserving families. And today is no different. We have a really, really great family. Not only a wonderful mother and daughter, but some kitty cats to play with and squeeze and get loaded on sweetgrass apparently because they like my cleansing kit. So there will be some of that. But we're just here to get some answers for this family to why some things are getting weird. We always go into these cases very kind of cold. We don't know a whole lot. We don't get a lot of background information because we want to just go in sort of raw and organic and feel the space. And basically, activity has just ebbed and flowed and spiked a little bit. There's been some stuff going on that they're just not quite sure about. And what we have learned so far is that there is some interest in the paranormal. There has been some just kind of, basic on their free time, investigating with friends, that type of thing. I also feel a lot of intuitive energy coming out of the family. So I'm wondering if there might be a little bit of boundary concerns with spiritual energy, both where they go investigate, but also just around here in general. Or heck, you can go to the grocery store and you can get an energetic Klingon. I mean, it can happen to anybody, especially people who have intuitive ability. And if you don't, remember the basic protocol of just keeping bubbled up and knowing how to be grounded and bubbled. Really just kind of anywhere you go and making that second nature, you can get a flow through of energy frequently. It is something that I struggled with for a very long time, and I've dialed it in pretty well, but every once in a while you just have to do a good old solid smudge and clean of yourself or blessing of yourself and get energy to take off. So we'd like to validate who is here, what is here, why they're here, what are they doing? Do they mean any harm? Are they just curious? Are they just asking for help? Because they think maybe, these people are beacons of light. I want help. I need something. We want to get them answers, and we want to get them resolution. That is why we do this. That is something that's very important to me, most of all, with our team, is helping people take control of their lives and take control of the spiritual energy around them, because it is around all of us. It is a very normal thing that people don't really understand. Luckily, our clients tonight have a little more understanding of the paranormal. They're a little more knowledgeable. So I think this will be a productive and useful and successful evening. Some of the intuitive stuff that I initially picked up on just by walking into the space, again, is the energy of the clients possibly being a little more open, as it were, intuitively. And also something with dream issues. I feel something with dreams going on. I also feel the energy of a gentleman who's probably in his 50s that keeps tinkering around and fussing about something. He hasn't really come forward all the way yet. And there's also a much younger male. I don't even know if this was this seemed like a very sudden death. Very quick death. I feel a lot of pain in my chest, actually. Can't quite breathe. He's under 25. He's a much younger male. And then there's an energy of a much older female. I'd say 80, 85, much older lady, who seems to be a very polite and sweet busybody. Mm. She's very nosy, and what's this? This should go here. I like it. Very nosy woman, but she's sweet. So those are the initial impressions just coming into the space, but now we'll need to do the walkthrough and really feel the entire space as a whole and see if there's any really specific hot spots and see if the feline down there has any opinion on any of this activity. I almost get the impression they startled at something that's not there, type of, that And like, what are they reacting to?
Suddenly bolt for no reason.
Yeah, like, no!
Startled cats.
Yeah, startled cat syndrome. So we will figure this out and get this family some answers and resolution. Let's take a walk. So I'd like to kind of get our clients involved as far as
Sure.
you guys can participate in the whole thing. I want you to participate and validate any time.
Wonderful clients.
Hi. That was my initial impression, and obviously I don't want too much leading information, but did any of that, just you can say yes or no, did any of it resonate for you? Yes. Okay. Did some stuff make sense for you? Okay. So we're going to wander, and we're just going to feel the energy of the space, and then as we get more things, please feel free to validate as we go.
You can help.
Ooh, sharp pain in my shoulder. Ooh. Ooh, ooh, that's a pain. Ah,
And a kitty at your foot.
I hate being empathic sometimes. That is painful. It's like this, oh wow, it's almost like a dislocated shoulder. Holy mother. Maybe I should have grounded.
Yes, you should.
I did in the car, but oh, whoa. That nailed me hard, right in.
Is this the bedroom that we're looking at? Okay.
Yeah, I think we're going into a room, and there's the local feline helping us.
Mau.
Hello, Felis catus.
We're in a Bugs Bunny cartoon now, Felis Catus.
Is that the same one?
It's
or a different
their
one?
taxonomic nomenclature. They are an endothermic quadruped.
Hi, Mama.
Carnivorous by nature. Okay, that's just, I went into a whole Star Trek data problem. Okay. Anyway, apologies.
The cat's name isn't Spot.
No, it's not. I did have a cat named Spot. I love Spot. He was a good boy. He was an orange cat, too.
Yeah, man, it was Star Trek.
We're rambling on camera, people.
Yeah, well, I get feeling distracted. It actually,
You
dealing with the cat helped take the pain off my shoulder because that was horrible.
Hi, Mama.
It felt like socked right in the shoulder. I'm like,
Yeah.
crap, what was
Just
that?
as soon as you got to the doorway of the room, huh?
right to that threshold, all of a sudden
Crazy.
it just felt like something just gigged me right in the shoulder. Just, oh, it was. And I don't know, it's a physical pain, but I don't know if it's like an injury, a memory of an injury type of thing, but it's so brutal and excruciating pain.
Breathing.
Okay.
Yeah, a lot of breathing problems in here too. It's like almost suffocating.
Facial recognition on your elbow?
Well, that's nice. Who's joining me?
I don't know.
I feel dizzy in here. Very dizzy, woozy. It's a very dizzying state in here. And there's this energy of doubt, self-doubt, fear of self-expression. A lot of isolation energy, and I feel a lot of abdominal pain too. I feel abdominal discomfort in here. A lot of abdominal pain. And I just got the image because I know this is a cat household, but for some reason I just saw the image of like a pink nosed dog. For some reason, it was just like a little pink nose. And there's this somebody like almost controlling and domineering. Somebody controlled or domineered energy in here. It's a controlling vibration. Somebody was belittling and controlling. And I don't know if it was a living person to another living person. But it didn't happen. I don't think it actually happened here, but it's just an energy of being bullied by someone. Oh, yeah, it's a heavy vibration. It's not quite a portal, but it's more like a intuitive leak. That like the energy that I leak into a space that's sort of controlled, but it feels like it's slightly uncontrolled energy leak. It's an uncontrolled energy leak. Do you concur, sir? Okay.
No, I'm not so dizzy anymore.
Shut that fan off.
No, it feels good. Don't you dare.
He likes it. I think we're alright. You gotta be careful with mirrors facing mirrors, but I think you're okay the way they're kind of offset. Mirrors directly facing other mirrors can leave a potential opening. It doesn't create a portal per se, but in homes where people are gifted or there's a lot of paranormal activity, it causes this infinity effect and it can open energy. So always be mindful.
We'll feel like we're okay on these two.
I'm gonna bless them, of course. But,
That's at an angle, so.
But yeah, slightly angled, so it's
Facing
actually.
the corner over there.
Yeah, I think it's okay. We're actually all right. And you can see that one and that one, but they don't cause the infinity. So.
You're not getting the infinity.
Ah. My knees hurt here. A little bit of knee pain, back pain, lower back. Like kind of like right in
Mid-thoracic.
here, and then I started to feel this pain going down like this. I feel the pain, and then my knees are feeling pressured.
Yeah, that's what mine always is.
Yeah, a little bit aches and pains. The older woman, the like 80-ish, 80 to 90 age range, she comes in here, and she just sits and just kind of looks out. She just sits and looks, sits and watches. She just, she's very subdued, just watches and just sits and does kind of her own little thing. She's just got her own little routine. I don't even know, she seems kind of active, like this seems more than residual, because she seems to have a set routine, but it's a set routine because she likes the routine. And again with the throat stuff, there's some throat stuff going on, and that might be from that woman, I'm not sure. But there's some throat issues going on, real tight in the throat. But this space feels more zen. It just feels less energetically intense, but I think the dreams are very vivid. And somewhere in this house, the dreams are vivid. They're so vivid. And come and talk to me.
It's funny.
Kitty, are you bothered by things as well?
Where you going, Cal? There you are.
The other cat sees it more. He sees things, but he's defiant about it.
Yes. I don't care.
Very defiant, like he'll startle, but he's much more defiant. He's got a defiant attitude.
He's our mini panther.
I just got an image of a bunch of comic books. All kinds of comic books. So many of them. The way I receive things is so like just, I literally rapid fire pictures and images and things thrown at me. So I'm sitting here trying to catch all the information and then deliver it back to you. I feel tightness in the jaw too. I feel a jaw tightness for some reason. Suddenly I've been transported to a historical cemetery, and I don't know why I'm there. It's very, it's one of those, like, it's got a lot of deep, rich history to it. It's not just, your average dead folks. It's like, it's got a real historical vibration. And then I'm being shown this image of almost like something like saran wrap. Like I feel like something like clinging saran wrapping onto me. And a weird electrical vibration. I feel like an electrical current going through me. This almost looks, the energy of this particular individual almost looks like military-esque. Male. And this one just wanted help. He just wants help. Well, thank you for your service, sir. I'll be sure to help you.
Good stuff.
Yeah, well, he feels a little lost.
Oh, we can help
I
him.
took a right turn at Albuquerque.
Oops, missed the door.
We gotta redirect
One of
this.
the Phoenix.
We gotta redirect this one. There's an energy of something over there, a feminine energy that's out there somewhere that seems to be dead. And little grouchy woman. I probably should fix that too.
Yeah.
She seems just to be very grouchy. Very grouchy woman.
She needs to simmer down.
Fix her wagon. All the pains all over my body though. This is
Yeah, it's pretty.
going through the...
Well, mine was from back in the day, because there was nothing, this is farmland before.
Oh yeah?
There's nothing out here.
It's something out here now.
All the Japanese people used to own farms on it before they got shipped off.
Interred.
Sucks.
Yeah,
Yeah. So they had all their land taken away from
pretty
them.
much.
Yeah, I'm trying to keep myself out of that
Yeah, out of
energy.
that whole
Out of that
vibe.
energy.
Yeah.
Although that could be one of the grouchy, that
Yeah,
grouchy woman.
that's what I mean.
She might be a little pissed off.
Or she could be just going to the
Maybe.
neighboring
Yeah, they
trailers.
yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of energy. I almost can't sort through it all. It's almost too much to sort
You're
through.
really.
I may just have to kind of slow it down and just resolve as much as I can. Because it seems to be a lot of different energy all kind of at once and
Sure
sort of
is.
confluence. What I think we should do is probably regroup in the living room
Mm-hmm.
and figure out what the
I like that. You nailed her in her room.
Yeah.
Yeah. From the shoulder pain
Oh,
all
really?
the way through. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Oh, it was your pain. Oh,
Yeah.
that's not very nice
Sorry.
pain.
No.
I'd like to do something for you about that. That sucks. That's intense pain.
Ow.
I'm so sorry.
Shoulder pain is intense, I know, I have it too.
Yeah, no, I know you
Can't
you
sleep.
get
The only
beat around
time
with
it
the
doesn't hurt when I'm
karate.
sleeping, like, my arms are here. I can't sleep
He's
on
a
my
6th
side
degree
or
black
anything.
belt, so
Oh.
he gets knocked around all the
I
time.
bet.
Students.
So,
Then gymnastics.
yeah, if you want to kind of go through some of the highlights of the things that really stood out to you, that I was feeling, anything that really made sense.
You want to start with Dad? You said you felt a man in his 50s.
Mhm.
My husband died of cancer at 58.
Oh, wow.
I'm so sorry for your
Aw.
loss.
And he and I had a deal long before he ever got sick that if he went first, he would hang around.
Oh, he's here. He's totally here.
The man is in there.
I don't know how to feel about that.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, he just wants to help out, He wants to do good now by the family and do his best to be useful. That's his soul's choice, his soul's free will. It's not that he's stuck or earthbound. He's not stuck. But his soul's choice was to, hey, check in. How are things going? Is everyone okay? Is everyone safe? He is admitting to being a little bit stubborn in life, and possibly a challenge to personality-wise to people. But he's like, but I'm making up for it now, damn it. And so that's kind of his reasoning. So
That's absolutely him. Yeah.
okay.
And we're coming up on the 5th anniversary of his death also. also.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So maybe his energy might be a little stronger right now because of that, and maybe you're thinking about him a little more. Okay, so
The 80-year-old woman, we think we have an idea about who that is.
She died at 63.
yeah, sometimes
Something
they'll
like
show
that.
me
But
what age
she
it would be.
She would be 86.
Okay.
Which would be my mother-in-law.
Oh, okay.
So, Dad's mom.
Okay.
And the reason we think it might be her is she did have pretty bad emphysema, so she did have a lot of
the breathing thing.
throat issues.
Yeah.
She died of breast cancer that metastasized, but she had emphysema.
Yeah, 'cause I felt just this whole, it just was not good going on in this whole region, so, okay. That makes sense. And sometimes they'll show me the age they felt the best, sometimes they'll show me the age they died, and sometimes they'll show me the age that they would be if they were still alive. So, they're in control of the show, I don't get to tell them what to do, which is annoying.
It just occurred to me we're coming up on the 20th anniversary of her death.
Oh, that's right.
Okay, well then, I guess that does make sense then, that has some relevance, okay. So, and what other things, as we tinkled around your house that,
The very young man,
Yeah, I can't
That-
come up with.
I can't think of anybody
Okay.
who would fit that bill.
okay.
But you did mention military.
Mm-hmm.
My dad, he did want to join the Army at one point. He was pretty
Air Force.
Air Force.
Oh, okay,
sorry.
okay.
So,
So that military energy.
Refused to fly.
Oh, that's great. Go to the Air Force and not fly.
Yeah, and honestly, too, that I wonder if, because of his love or interest of that I feel like some other spirits are attracted to this space, and I think they have some military energy as well. So you've probably got a little bit of that going on, additionally. So,
Mel, are you feeling anything to your left?
well, I kind of think I scared them away now.
Okay.
Now that we found them.
I think it was the woman.
The little busybody.
Yeah, she just seemed to be kind of interested in what we're doing.
She's like, what are you
What's going
doing?
on?
What
This
are you
is
doing?
interesting. She's very interested in what we're doing.
My mother-in-law was very different.
Okay.
But I loved her.
Yeah.
She was my mom. So.
Yeah.
Oh, that's sweet. Well,
She just seems very interested in what everyone's doing and everyone's business and just wants to know what's going on.
I just had an anomaly there.
and then
Kind of an
Yeah.
anomaly, like a
Just the
visual?
camera wanting to focus on something besides you instead of you.
Oh, well, she's
Yeah, mine did
okay.
that too.
Well, we got the dead rolling around.
Yeah.
So, and what,
Once you get done.
I know. One of the dead wants the candy.
And I've got it on tracking, so it shouldn't be
Wouldn't
doing
be the first time
that.
that's happened either.
It should be tracking you.
What else made sense? So you just go down whatever else resonates, anything that I felt, obviously the energy-wise, the description of your energy you said made sense in your room.
yes.
How you feel about things, how your body feels, that kind of stuff.
Yes.
What about your space? How did you feel about the assessment you made?
I'm pretty much in constant pain.
So me sitting
Yeah.
there feeling all crunchy and achy.
I had
Made
an
sense.
accident at work about 20 years ago. I fell downstairs. And
Oh,
Oh,
no.
jeez.
Ugh.
Yeah,
So
my
how-
back. My
So I was
back.
say, how's your back? Because
Yeah.
the back doesn't feel too great.
L23 and.
It feels
yeah.
like it puts pressure all the way down and even back down into your legs.
Mhm.
Like it causes
Sciatica
like
and
a
a
pressure all the
whole.
way down.
Yep.
That's kind of the feeling that I was feeling in your space. So
This getting old stuff is not.
It's for the
Yeah,
birds,
right.
but it's better than the alternative.
you know, what else kind of spoke to you guys? Any kind of things that sort of
Well, when you were down in her bedroom, when you were by the bed, that was typically my dad's side.
That was.
And as I mentioned, you had pain in your knees.
Mm-hmm.
He had pain in his legs constantly,
Oh, okay.
even for years and years and years and years.
He climbed telephone poles.
oh
Ah, no wonder.
So
That'll give you
years
a
of
little
climbing and.
crunchiness, yeah.
Ow.
Okay, that's why I was feeling all that. Yay, being an empath.
Yay!
Wahoo! Okay, so
The woman outside, I have no idea. The woman I bought the house from, as far as I know, the last I heard, she's still alive.
Oh.
A lot of them still get together and have
Aw.
lunch. She had to move out because she had macular degeneration.
Oh.
So she's in a home, but they still get together and have lunch. And she's original owner of
Yeah,
this
because
house.
the energy I felt was outside of the house, like it didn't belong to the house. She just was like grouchy.
Could be
And
just a
her
wandering.
husband died shortly after they bought the house and
Oh.
moved in here. And I have no idea. I would guess she's maybe around 80, somewhere around there. Yeah.
Okay. Older
And,
gal.
yeah, and they bought the house at the end of 88.
Yes. Because
So
this is an 88 model.
Is
Yeah.
it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So he was maybe, I would guess maybe around 60 when he died, somewhere in there. I'm not sure.
Hmm. And she lived here for quite a while.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, 30 years.
Yeah.
Because I just bought the house from her last year.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So she's still alive. Well, that's good.
Good.
You go, girl.
Yeah, keep on trucking.
She's in her mid-90s or something now.
Yeah, that's a good old strong genes. You know, hey, the eyes, they go. You gotta go where you can be taken care of. You don't want to be tripping downstairs.
I know they still meet for lunch, and a couple of the gals have been to her place.
Oh, that's
So
cool.
it's really nice.
Okay,
Excellent.
Good. But I kept seeing some sort of old cemetery. Like it's really haunting me,
Yeah.
and it's
Wow.
I don't quite know why. I
That
kept
was
seeing
hard
it.
to pinpoint because that's one of our favorite things to do.
Oh, is that where you go? Okay, so I wasn't sure like what you just like you go to homes or
Sac City Cemetery.
Oh, yeah,
there's
that's-
Ione, there's Bodie, there's Fiddletown. I mean, that's kind of,
Yeah, you have to be careful in those places
Very
because you will get Klingons.
we just kind of like to wander. And we
Yeah,
try
I love
to.
to.
I love cemeteries, and for the most part, most of them aren't actually haunted in itself. Like they're not, it's a very serene, beautiful place. I don't have trouble in cemeteries
Yeah.
too much. Now, some have more historical significance, and those can be, there could be a little extra energy. The one off of Broadway has resident ghosts.
Yeah.
Because people have died there. Like people have gone there, people have committed suicide on the premises. There have been deaths. And, not just bringing people to be buried, people have died inside the grounds. Or nearby, like on the, streets, accidents, that kind of thing. There's been stuff that's gone on so close by that they actually do have a technical active haunt, as it were. It's not just your standard, okay, everyone's dead. Most cemeteries you go to, and Brent and I have talked about this, where you go to a grave of a loved one, it's like pressing a doorbell, then you have this interaction and connection, you're just there to comfort you while you mourn or connect to them. But there are some cemeteries that do have active wanderers, and the one, the city one is technically one of those.
Yeah.
Places like Bodie, oh god,
Oh, God.
that is just all kinds of.
There's also Franklin Cemetery, it's not too far from here.
Yeah, that one too.
So-
There's actually a famous person buried there. I can't
Adopted
remember
a
who it
grave
is.
for a while of a baby girl.
She was about 6 years old, but her sight was just, it was
Really
Run
overgrown.
over.
Smartville has a really spooky one because I talked to the caretaker over there. She's the caretaker of the 3 cemeteries there.
Oof.
And as we were walking there, we kept stepping these big holes. I said, why are we stepping these holes? They said, well, the bodies were dug up. So, so when the Chinese came, so when they brought the Chinese here to dig the railroad, when all the railroads were finished, they would dig up their dead and take them back to China.
Oh, that's right. Because they
That's
were
what
bears
it
in
was.
the
And then one of the cemeteries, because she likes to go there at night and just sit. And one of the last ones, she said she hears kids screaming and crying because 3 kids that are buried there died in a car accident. The car caught fire. So they're buried in that cemetery. So at night, when she's sitting there, she can hear them screaming.
God,
and
it was just
Oh.
residual.
and she's sitting there.
Oh,
and she'll
right.
look
I
out
pray that that's just a residual
Yeah,
memory.
the shadow figures
Horrible.
walking around. She'll see out
So
there.
that's an active thing. I have to go
We
there.
have to go help them.
You're about to mention Bodie, and
Oh, yeah, so Bodie, you gotta be real careful with. Obviously, you probably know not to take anything from there, no rocks, anything. Yeah, you know that rule.
not even a bottle cap.
Yeah.
That's the deal now, yeah.
So, but it's these places that are high level energy, high level haunt. Some cemeteries, yeah, I love just feeling the serene vibration. It's not that big of a deal.
I just like to go read the dates.
Yeah, the dates,
Yeah.
and it's historical.
Exactly.
I
I
love
love them.
history.
I
I
love
love all of that. There's nothing wrong with that kind of exploration. But just know that if you have a little bit of a sensitive inclination, even just a little latent ability, or maybe even an active ability, that you're going to want to know how to clear yourself. Prayer is a beautiful thing and a great thing. You say you guys kind of do a little like circle afterwards and clear yourself, and that is awesome and perfect. But you might want to add a few extra layers. One of which is to sort of put a bubble around yourself before you go to the location. Maybe carry some different rocks and crystals that might be helpful for protection, such as labradorite is a great one to protect the aura. Black tourmaline, very helpful to transmute energy away from you. Stuff like that that's, useful. And then invest in maybe some Palo Santo wood or cedar wood, something, even sage probably would be helpful, just to smudge yourself when you get home after, or even before you leave the location, just out in the parking lot, and just kind of wash your aura off of any energy and say, thank you for all the energies that have communicated with us. You cannot come with us, you cannot, sort of set a boundary, and verbalize it, verbalize the boundary, and then clear yourself off, and then come home. You might want to just add a couple layers to this process, because I feel like that's part of the dynamic, but I don't think it's the entirety of the dynamic for you guys. I think there's a lot of different layers. Do you guys feel like you have a little bit of intuitive ability to some degree? Because I feel like there's some massive giftedness happening that's probably why they're all drawn to you, to say the least.
Psychic Friends Network.
Yeah, right. It's kind of how I feel about it. I don't like to freak people out about it, but I feel like there's some stuff going on. Does that resonate for you?
Yeah, big time.
Okay. So you need some tools.
Yeah, definitely will help.
Do you want me to tell you about our experience?
Yeah, at this point, now that I've done the cold walkthrough, now it's a fine time to sort of tell us what you felt and that kind of stuff. And then after we know more about what your experiences are, then we can break out the meters and we can go through and start to really validate it on another layer. We like the layered approach, my gift, then the meters, then the interaction, the whole puzzle.
It's kind of like cooking, you layer flavors.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
precisely.
So everything that's been going on has actually been going on for years.
Okay.
And it is typically centered around me.
Okay.
The first time I can...
Skeptic. I need to say
That's
that.
fine.
I need to own up to that.
Yeah.
Sure.
That's good.
Skepticism is good.
Healthy skepticism is a very
I'm a medium and I'm a skeptic.
Until you walked in my room and hit my vein. I'm not a skeptic.
I like to flip the skeptics. No, I'm skeptical of a lot of stuff too, by the way. So that's perfectly acceptable.
absolutely.
I've seen shadow people, I've seen stuff out of the corner of my eye. I know it's cliche, but I've seen women in white
Okay.
moving around, dancing. I've heard things. I've actually heard my name called out.
Okay.
That was me.
Oh, okay.
Stepping on stuff.
Oh shit.
Let me know.
And this has been, we've moved around for, I don't know how long.
Yeah, we
Different
moved
houses.
a lot.
So you are the beacon.
Yeah, in my bedroom, actually, I was asleep one night, and you had mentioned this too, somebody is having vivid dreams
Yeah.
and just kind of snapping out of it.
Mhm.
That's me.
Oh, okay.
I do have very vivid dreams. There's been a couple nights where I have been dead asleep, woken up for no reason, and on my quilt in there, it's pulling. Something is,
Yeah.
I liken it to a kid trying to get your attention for like a glass of water. So I'm being shook. Titan is on the bed with me and he's looking at something behind me.
So when I thought that the cat probably sees them,
Yeah.
he does.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
She'll accuse me sometimes the next morning. Did you come in my room?
Well, they're very attracted to your energy.
Yep.
We've really got to work on your boundary protocol.
Please.
Yeah.
It'll do you a lot.
That's going to be a very important key here for you to manage this.
You had mentioned the cats seeing stuff.
Mhm.
They do.
Okay.
We'll be out here watching TV, and it's happened a couple nights. Her bedroom door, it does close somewhat to a point on its own. We've actually been sitting out here, and it'll close, like someone is behind it, pushing it closed.
Well, that's interesting.
And Titan likes to lay on me, so he'll be laying on me, and all of a sudden he'll perk up and look down there, and Winnie will do the same thing, no matter where she's at.
Okay.
Other points of the house, yeah, they do notice stuff, and it does get a little creepy. What are they staring at?
Yeah, exactly.
Well, they can see in light spectrums that our eyes cannot. So, this is, like all the different ghost hunting gear, there's full spectrum cams, there's IR cams, all that kind of stuff. So we can perceive in different light spectrums. Well, they already have it built in. So, whereas we might need a camera to see it, or if you're an intuitive and you can see it, that's great. But they're like, oh, that seems to be a person walking by. To them, it's much more tangible. So he just thinks like, oh, hey, who's that dude walking down there? Yeah, that's how he's interpreting. Dad, what's going on?
Mom, you had mentioned that you were having dreams too.
I always dream after Dad.
Aw, he's visiting.
He's like, hello, what are you doing? What's going on?
Well, he did promise to come back and
Yeah, no, he's keeping his
you know,
promise.
always
I mean,
keep your
that's-
pinky swear.
That's good. That's nice of him.
And
to-
that ghost investigation, that's stuff they did together, the two of them.
Yeah.
Oh.
So when we ghost hunted in the beginning,
No wonder he
it
promised
was
to
he
come
and I.
back.
So
I just follow
he must
along
be
and go,
really
"I
excited
see
about
nothing."
Yeah,
this.
that kind of explains some of the on-screen interest that we were picking up on.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, cool.
So yeah, what?
I wonder if he'll come through on this video.
That's kind of
You've
the
heard your name called
the
before,
Reader's
too.
Digest version of it.
I'm always hearing things, I'm old.
When we were in Utah, you had mentioned that you had heard your name one night and you thought it was me.
Yeah, you were down in the basement. Yeah. I was up in my room.
Clairaudience is it's a lovely spiritual gift. And it's sometimes it's fleeting, sometimes it doesn't happen a lot. And while you have this very pragmatic and very logical and good, healthy, skeptical mind, it doesn't mean that there's not latent abilities within you, because usually they run in families. So if it's not something you've ever tapped into or wanted to, that's fine. That's no big deal. But you can't get away from the paranormal all the time. Skepticism or not, you can't always avoid it.
My mother thinks maybe she is. She might be.
Yeah, you never know. You never know. But regardless, you guys have some energy here. And I think when you're having these upticks and these sort of extra bits of activity, it's probably related to the fact that your boundaries are just not all that great with the other side right now. And they're taking advantage of your energy, and they're just trying to get your attention. They see you as a beacon of light, like, oh, she can help. Oh, look at that. And so they're trying to bother you, but not in a mean way. Some of them get kind of desperate. Some of them do get a little aggressive occasionally because they're just so desperate to be heard. So they can get rather pushy. But you've also got a lot of protective energy around you. So I think that's what's probably keeping it somewhat semi in check. But you've really got to work on the boundary protocol, because especially if you're going to continue to explore this, you have to do
Bubbles.
it safely. Yeah, I mean, if you go out there without your bubble on, eventually the horseshoe's going to fall off. You're going to end up getting some energy around you that you really don't want.
Or getting sick, or a lot of different things can happen.
Yeah, but it's it's not even that hard. I don't know if I've emailed you some of the grounding and aura protection stuff yet. If I have, really start to utilize that very regularly. And I'm also going to leave you with some rocks and a couple of tools to use, kind of in your repertoire, so you can start to really get comfortable with just setting a boundary. It's all visualization. It's, you know, knowing that you're protected, putting yourself in that protective sphere or light or whatever, however you want to see it or whatever you want to perceive it as. Some people get into a disco ball, so the lights and the mirrors reflect off of you, and you know, like, and you're just in your protective, you know, energy. Some people see it as a bubble. Some people see it as a big ball of light. Everyone kind of has their thing of the way they see the protective energy, but you need to pick what works for you, and then jump inside that bubble. What we'll do is we'll break out some meters. We'll do a walkthrough with those, and then see if anything sets them off and what we measure, or if it's paranormal or not.
Okay.
We want to give you the science of the evening.
Sounds good.
And then we'll go from there.